Well, I am that topping dude. I certainly am. I most certainly am that topping dude. And this is that topping dude plays the American Film Institute's daily movie guessing game, Get the Picture. And the date is February 5th, 2026. And it's game number 1404, 1404, 1404, 1404. Hey, we got a lot to talk about today. So no, it's tight. Okay. First of all, let's check in with the anonymous player says, I got the picture. All right. Congratulations, anonymous player. I mean, if you were watching and you could hear me, which he won't and it won't be happening. Let's see what Jade. Oh, I didn't get, wait, I overslept, so probably missed your AFI video? No, you didn't miss it. Um, I didn't get the picture anyway. Okay. Share the whole screen, share the whole screen, share the whole screen. Okay. Yesterday, the answer was working girl. A lot to say about this. First of all, I mentioned that I said that Andy Warhol was played by Jared Leto, and I was ever so wrong. Let's see, is this where it is? Working. I shot Andy Warhol. It was Andy Warhol was played by Jared Harris, not Jared Leto. My apologies. And let's see, what else did I want to say about Working Girl? Oh yeah, it was a good example of where the hell, where did it, it's there it is. It was a good example, like these four Andy Warhol paintings. Now, this Working Girl came out in 1988. I only saw it once. I I've never seen it since then. I don't think I've even seen clips, and I don't think I've seen any footage of these four Andy Warhol, of these. I don't know if this is an actual Andy Warhol, but it's supposed to be an Andy Warhol paintings of Sigourney Weaver. But I remembered them. It really stuck in my mind all throughout these years, throughout these decades, and that's one of the things I like about this game. It's the first thing that attracted to me is that, thinking like just moments, years, decades ago, I saw this. I never saw it again, but I remembered it. In fact, in this case, I said that Working Girl is a mediocre film, and I still think that. But I mean, I haven't seen it a second time. I could change my mind. But regardless of my opinion, I gotta say, I remember a lot of it. A lot of it really, really has stuck with me throughout the years. And only on one viewing, I remember quite a bit about this film. Um, and let's see, let me look at my notes. Oh yeah. Liz, there was around the same time, right before Working Girl, the Mike Nichols film with Melanie Griffith came out. There was an independent film called Working Girls, and Working Girls. It was technically a 1986 film, but it was released in New York in 1987. And I probably didn't get to LA until it probably got to LA in 87. And here's Working Girls. And this is about a day in the life of a prostitute. I think this middle one is the main one. This I saw more than once, although it wasn't as good. The first time's the best time. And it's like this, it's just a day in the life of a brothel in New York. And this one prostitute has to do a double shift because one of the other prosties calls in sick or something, so she has to do a double shift. And just speaking of Working on, just in case you didn't know that the title Working Girl, the Melanie Griffith film, that's a euphemism for a prostitute. So in the movie Working Girls, where it really was about prostitutes, there was no play on words, but it is sort of a play on word to call Melanie Griffith a working girl because, it means prostitute. And in fact, when I lived in San Francisco, well, this part's true. I've always liked older men. And when I lived in San Francisco and I was in my early 20s, I already liked older men. I mean, that was a lifelong thing. It wasn't something that suddenly came upon me. But because I liked older men and because I was so young, I was always mistaken for a male prostitute, which in those days we called a hustler. And I remember walking down Polk Street where a lot of hustlers hung out and looking for, it was late. There weren't that many people still on the streets. And when I was checking out the older men, and there's a group of three people walked by. One of them was an older man. I was kind of checking him out. And then when they passed by, one of them said, "Working girl." They were talking about me. They were saying I was a fucking prostitute. I was Huffler. Okay, that's all I have to say about fucking working girl. Let's move on to today's game. Share the whole screen. Share the whole screen. Share the whole entire screen. Okay, we're okay. Okay, here we are. Okay, let's see the new green. And John Atkins was kind of glad that I'm not playing the other game and I'm just sticking. But I think I'm going to play. Okay, let's see what this is. This is The Power of the Dog. That is Jesse Plemons. That is Kirsten Dunst. They are a couple in real life. I don't think that they're married, but they do have kids. And okay, it's The Power of the Dog. No, it's not Goldfinger. They want you to think it's that he's that. What is the guy's name? The Asian guy who has the hat that kills people. He kind of reminds you of that. So I won't be surprised if a lot of people guess Goldfinger, but it's not. It's not even the right race. Hostels. I do not know Hostels. The Master. The Master is a film by Paul Thomas Anderson that has what is that guy's name? It's a three-word name. Anyway, what is that guy's name? He's a really, really good actor. He died young of a heroin overdose. He sort of resembles this guy. What the hell is his name? It's three words. It's anyway, maybe you know what I'm talking about. He's redheaded. He's been in a lot of Paul Thomas Anderson films. Anyway, The Power of the Dog, that is the answer. And Tombstone, I thought that Tombstone was a okay, well, anyway, it's The Power of the Dog, and we're gonna do this. And 2 day streak. Now, much to John Atkins's chagrin, I'm gonna still play it over here because I want to be able, like, if I want to be able to have to eliminate one and get one. Now, today I didn't need it, but I want to be able to say, let me just make sure it's not this or something. Okay, this is The Power of the Dog. Submit my guess. Let's just see if the stats have changed over here. And probably the answer is no. And the answer is no. Okay, let's go back over here. Okay, 73.3% correctly identify or guess the Poir of the Dog. 9.9% guess Thompson. 7.5% guess the Maestier. Um, 4 point Philip Seymour Hoffman. That was the guy's name in The Master. Philip Seymour Hoffman. 4.8% guess Goldfinger. And see, not that many people guessed Goldfinger. I would have, and 4.5% guessed Hostiles. Okay, and let's see what the stats are now. 94%. What was it yet? That didn't change from yesterday, did it? All right. Anyway, let's see what they said about the. Oh my God, how the motherfucking that. Pictures of year. They always do that of year. What the hell? Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay. The Power of the Dog is a movie by Jane Campion. She is the one who did, you know, uh, The Piano is probably her most famous one, where Holly Hunter plays a deaf woman. And she's done a lot of films. They're very they're not mainstream films by and large. They're really obscure and abstract and avant-garde, you might say. Um, but The Power of the Dog is probably closer to a mainstream. Probably it might even be the closest to a mainstream film I can think of that she's done of the ones that I've seen. Um, it has Benedict Cumberbatch, Jesse Plemons, and Smith McPhee, something Smith McPhee. I'm actually gonna let me hold on. Okay, the guy's name is Cody Smith McPhee, Cody Smith McPhee, and he's the skinny kid. He's Kirsten Dunst's son in the film, and he has this really weird relationship with Benedict Cumberbatch. Um, I'm not even sure that I should say what the film is. It's strange. It's got homophobia and homoeroticism in it. I gotta see it again to tell you the truth. Um, anyway, it's a very interesting film, and that's all I'm gonna have to say about it for today. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.